Today, we're exploring one of the least visited parks in the country, Voyageurs National Park. This is 220,000 acres of protected wilderness in a national dark zone that looks today pretty much the same way it did in the 1600s, when this place was the equivalent of a busy interstate. Here, you'll find wide open lakes, tight, narrow channels, roaring rapids, and quiet, peaceful islands you can have all to yourself. To admit, I had no idea there was a national park in northern Minnesota. The only reason I read about it in the first place was because my son told me Minnesota was the place he most wanted to go on our next trip. Not kidding. He's a middle child, so you get it. If you know, you know. Middles are quirky. And while I was map reading to plan a statewide road trip, I stumbled across Voyageurs National Park. Nearly 84,000 acres of this park, or nearly 1/3 its total size, is water. And if you want to experience this park for yourself, you're going to have to do it by boat. That's right, there are no roads through Voyageurs National Park. It is all waterways and islands. I was pretty nervous the first time I read that and considered scratching the park from our plans altogether. You see, most people like to tour Voyageurs in a houseboat. And as romantic as that sounds, it is a huge commitment. For one thing, there is no consistent bottom to any of these inlets. There are lakes, rivers, narrow channels, and everything in between. And to navigate something the size of a houseboat through them safely, you'll have to read a depth sonar while steering. For another, all you get is the boat. You need to bring everything with you. Sheets, towels, blankets, groceries, all of it. This is like camping on steroids. Now, there are several rental places on the edge of the park, and they are more than happy to answer all your questions if you decide that's the route you want to go. But for us, on a statewide road trip from Chicago with 2 Scottish Terriers, I knew that was more cargo than we wanted to carry around. That's when I found Voyageurs Lodge. This is a lodge and rental facility all in one, perched on the edge of Crane Lake in the southern portion of the park. Not only were they dog-friendly, with rooms big enough to fit our family of 5, they even offered boat rentals of every size you can think of, including houseboats. We ended up with this sporty fishing boat, and even though we did no fishing, we zipped all around the park in it. Jeff has piloted all manner of boats for me, begrudgingly, since he did grow up around boats at the Jersey Shore. But he ended up really enjoying this Crestliner. At the end of the day, he said, "I didn't hate it." Y'all, if you love someone from Philadelphia like I do, you'll know there is no higher praise. Our first goal was to head up to Kettle Falls. We drove 3 hours north and inland from Duluth yesterday. The drive was beautiful. After you leave Duluth, the towns get smaller and smaller until you're basically driving a road that is cut right between the trees. You can go for long stretches without seeing a single other car. Now, if you're like me, that is what you like in a vacation, to actually get away from it all. I love beaches, but they can be crowded, and if you're going to northern Minnesota, you're going to find yourself with a lot of peace and quiet and nature. Let me show you right here a screenshot Jeff took yesterday when we arrived. That's right. We are that close to the Canadian border. In fact, as we pull out of the marina right here, I'm going to be able to show you Canada because it is just on the other side of this water. We are as far north in Minnesota as you can possibly go. And we're going to be retracing some routes taken by French-Canadian fur traders
in the late 1600s all the way to the mid 1800s. I'm so excited to share this with you guys. This park has been listed as a National Geographic must visit, so today should be pretty special. The boat came with a navigation display, and the routes north were easy to follow. You'll speed through lakes so big you can hardly see to the next island. Then you'll navigate through channels so narrow it'll feel like you can reach right out and touch the tree branches. For anyone worried about our puppies, we strapped them into some brand new life vests we brought with us. Mary and Pippin experienced some serious boat hair on this trip. On our way up, we kept our eyes peeled for moose, bear, and bald eagles, which roost naturally in the park. I was looking forward to seeing them the most out of all the animals. We lived in Connecticut for a little while, and as anyone in the Northeast can tell you, bears stop being fun and cute the minute they knock over your trash can and relieve themselves in your front yard. But I'm old enough to remember when bald eagles were on the brink of extinction, and this park is their natural habitat. They love these rocky islands and their small clutch of trees and like to make their oversized nests in their branches. Now, I do believe I saw one. I'm going to show you my footage and slow it down there. Right there, I believe, is a bald eagle. He has that telltale white cap marking on his head feathers. I saw him as we sped past, and he took flight just after I stopped recording. Even if it was just a plain old eagle, which I don't believe, it was still beautiful to see. And we just made it to Kettle Falls. You're going to stop here at the barrier. You can see right up here because beyond that point is the dam. And we docked the boat, as you can see right there. And it's really easy to find a parking space, pull right up, and we're gonna walk. They've got a trail right up this way. We're gonna walk to the falls and take a look. So far this has been a beautiful day. We've got a little bit of haze from Canadian wildfires, if you can make that out behind me. But for the most part, we've had really beautiful weather. The dogs are doing great, and I'm excited to see these falls. This is one of the few places in the US where you can stand and look south into Canada. You see, all of the waterways throughout this area are presently known as the international boundary line between the two countries. And this boundary line was based on the original path traveled by voyageurs from the 16th to 1700s. Voyager, spelled with an EU, is simply French for traveler. And that's the name French-Canadian trappers went by as they sailed along these exact waterways from one side of the continent to the other. They could paddle anywhere between 16 and 18 hours a day, in shifts, of course. Each longboat could hold between 8 and 12 trappers, depending on the design. As you can imagine, paddling all day burned serious calories, so they ate energy bars made of dried berries and dried, pulverized meat that were primarily held together by pure fat. This was known as pemmican, and you can learn all about the Voyageurs, their lifestyle and habits at the Visitor Center at Crane Lake. Pemmican would definitely have to be a hard pass for me. Whenever they encountered an obstacle they couldn't cross by boat, like Kettle Falls, they'd get out, strap their packs and supplies to their backs, and carry the longboat on their shoulders. This was known as portaging. And as someone who once threw her back out carrying a chunky toddler, I can say with confidence I would make a terrible voyager. Not to mention that at 5'9", I greatly exceed the preferred 5'4" stature of the traditional boatmate. Even the name for these falls dates back to the Voyageurs who, when they saw them for the first time, said the steam and bubbles reminded them of a teapot boiling over. Primarily, the Voyageurs dealt with Native Americans. The Algonquin-speaking peoples called these woods home, and they included the Innu, Algonquin, and Ojibwe tribes. But following the end of the Revolutionary War, the Voyageurs had someone new to deal with: Americans.
and the former colonists were keen to determine what land belonged to them and what they would relinquish to the British.
There were actually a lot of boundary disputes between America and the British, who had settled the portion of Canada we're nearest. And the Voyageurs ended up being instrumental in solving some of that boundary dispute. They had maps dating back to the early 1700s that marked out the different waterways Voyageurs would use. And there was a main waterway called the Common Waterway. And this became the standard for the boundary, and they said anything south of the Common Waterway would be the United States, and anything north of the Common Waterway would belong to Canada. So this route that we've been traveling on this morning as we head up to Kettle Falls is the Common Waterway. It's one that the Voyageurs would have used as early as 1690 perhaps, and for sure into the early 1700s. So it's neat to be traveling along this part of history, and it's very protected up here. It is mostly unchanged from when they were here. This is also a national dark zone, meaning there are no artificial lights here, so we really are seeing things the way they may have seen them as they were canoeing. Although I'm very grateful to be on a motorboat today, I do not think I have the strength to canoe for up to 14 hours. And of course, if they hit any boundaries that they needed to cross over on land, why, they would just get out, pick up their boat as a group, and walk it over that land. I certainly could not do that after a day of paddling. So we're having a great time out here in Voyageur National Park.
The island beside the falls is much like an outpost. There's a general store, albeit small, bathrooms, maps, and even a hotel that the National Park Service has been operating since it was established here in 1975. The hotel itself is just a short walk down some very well-preserved trails. The puppies were so grateful to be out of their vests and on dry ground again. The building was constructed in 1910 and operated as a frontier hotel for trappers and bootleggers. It was rumored to serve a rough and rowdy crowd that even attracted some ladies of the night, shall we say, who saw an opportunity to corner the market in an otherwise underserved area. The National Park Service offers a much toned down experience by comparison, but you can still stay here. It books up quickly though, and you'll have to make your reservations by phone. In fact, that's true of many of the lodges on the edges of the park. Some, like Voyageur Lodge, also use email, but the majority prefer a phone call. Voyageurs National Park definitely makes you work for it. But if you're willing to go that extra mile, the experience is oh so rewarding.
We found a dock in the park, and we've decided to stop and do a little more exploring. There are camping sites and houseboat sites marked all over the place, so you can pull up your boat to the dock, you can get out, walk around. I think I'm going to eat a little bit of my sandwich that I brought, but let me show you. It's like a private little inlet that we have here. It's so peaceful. It's so beautiful. You can see the dock that we're standing on and the boat, and it's got bumpers alongside. It's nice and safe to pull up to and tie off, and it is wonderful. And I believe they're marked on the GPS map, which makes it easier. So find yourself a little dock out here in Voyageur if you come.
Of course, I misspoke when I called these private islands, as you can judge by the bear box they've included.
All right, from the bear box, Jeff has found a track here. So we're kind of thinking maybe bear-like. What do you guys think?
We did some light hiking and exploring, but I'll be honest, the bear tracks got to me. Y'all, in Connecticut, the news featured a bear attack at least once a month. I swear. I had no intention of letting my pups, or my kids, find whomever made those tracks. So we stuck pretty close to the water. This island was my favorite part of the day. I'm going to let you listen to my actual audio here. Do you hear that? And this is the part where you say, "Hear what?" And I say, "Exactly." That is the peace and quiet you are not going to find in a modern suburb. You can hear the wind touching each tree branch, hear the water lapping against the rocks, hear the moss compacting under your feet. As I said before, that is what I like in a vacation.
Godspeed, travel with hope in our minds. Lose range, the sky and the wind are only guide. Wild sea, we are all strangers to this land. And no map, no promise but the light ahead. Rolling into the great unknown. Every step leads away from home.
We spent the rest of our time up here at Voyageurs Lodge, and even though they are certainly not sponsoring this video, I do want to take a minute to tell you how great they are. They have an on-location restaurant that is better than it has any right to be. No contest, this is the best food we ate during our entire road trip. So we're back at the Lodge restaurant again for dinner tonight because honestly, it was that good, and we're having more, what are they called? Tater kegs? Tater kegs. And Alfredo, oh gosh, and if you come here, you've got to get the garlic mashed potatoes. It was so good. So yeah, we really didn't look around much. We just came right back here. We were talking about this as we were coming back on the boat. We were just looking forward to this so much. So dinner again at Voyageurs. Even though I had plans to check out more grills and pubs in the area, we just kept coming back here. Y'all, I am still thinking about those garlic mashed potatoes and that walleye. And check out this view. Do you hear that? It's the lake gently rolling up onto the beach. Personally, I cannot wait to return to Voyageurs National Park. I hope to go when the Canadian wildfires are less of a factor, in the hopes of seeing the aurora borealis, which is frequently visible at this latitude, thanks to the dark zone regulations. If you're looking for more to do in Minnesota, check out my video on the historic Glen Sheen Manor on the north side of Duluth, only a few hours from Voyageurs, as well as the road trip we made from Duluth up to Gooseberry Falls.
Rolling into the great unknown. Every step leads away from home.
Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.